Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. So, first things first, I know a bunch of you are probably looking at me like, dude, you had long hair. Well, hair decided it needed a vacation. All jokes aside, if you want to know the real reason behind my new look, there is quite a story behind it. And it does not involve a lawnmower or a weed eater, shockingly. If you guys want to know, just hit me up in the comments, because I don't know if that's a story that anybody really wants to hear. But anyways, on with what you came here to see. So, I've been in the market. I've been looking on the market for quite some time. Those of you that remember a few videos back, I did a video on the Smock Devilkin. I absolutely love that mod. The way it looks, the way it feels, the weight, the draw, the power, everything about it. I love that mod. But it is a very big mod. It runs two 18650 batteries. It takes some time to charge it. And I personally, just like with my cell phone, I don't want to use it while it's on the charger, because I feel like that would pull too much current through the mod. Just like when you use your phone on a charger, it pulls too much current through the phone, and that's why a bunch of you guys have sucky batteries. Just saying. But yeah, with running dual 18650 batteries, it takes quite some time for it to charge. So I was looking for those of you that know me, whether you know me through YouTube or you know me personally, you know that I prefer vaping over smoking. So rather than using my mod and then for the remaining 4 to 5 hours that I'm awake throughout the day, instead of switching over to a pack of cigarettes and totally defeating the purpose of vaping, darling, I decided to try to find me something small, something that I could use a higher strength nicotine, and also double over as a secondary mod for when I'm in public and around certain people, because not everybody wants to see these huge clouds. Perfect example is my dad. When I go out and visit my mom and dad, they're okay with me smoking a cigarette. They're not thrilled about it, but I am their son. They also happen to smoke, so they don't say anything about me smoking. But if I pull out my big mod, then they have a bit of a problem, and I still don't understand it. A lot of people complain, oh, I can't breathe, that it chokes me, this, that, and the other, and I don't understand how you can be a smoker, but a vape cloud chokes you. I honestly don't get it. I think it's a mind over matter thing. I could be wrong. But whenever I use my smaller mods, it seems my mom and dad are okay with it. They look at it the same as a cigarette. So in that statement, I wanted something to be a backup mod for while my Devilkin is charging. Also, something that I could pull out as a smaller mod for when I'm around certain people. I went to a place called Deep South Vapor in Dothan, Alabama, and I think they actually have more locations than just Dothan. And I came across this interesting little contraption. It is called the Ego AIO Eco. Why a funky name, why they chose that particular name, I have no idea. But there on the front of the box, that is the actual size. To give you a reference, here is a 60 milliliter bottle of fluid. Any of you that have been vaping for any amount of time, you know how big a 60 milliliter unicorn bottle is. And then upon opening it, you see, of course, the mod is not actually in here. You get this nice little card that tells you the difference of, actually, this is specifically for this mod. It gives you little, a little chart to go by of what fluid to get for this particular coil, and it's for the VG ratio. The above information is only for reference. It's not actual. Okay, and then you open it up, and of course, it's got its little instruction manual. It's got the charging cable, and then crap. And then down here in the bottom, you see the, well, it's slid up with the, you see the little Ziploc baggie there with some spare parts in it. Fabulous. So it's pretty well your typical starter kit. Let me put all this back together. And this is actually what it looks like. Yes, I realized that on the box it was like a steel gray color, but the mod itself is red. They come in 5 or 6 different colors. I chose red because the mod I already had is red. I mean, it's very, very small, very compact. It's pretty lightweight considering its size. I mean, this thing, you could put it in your pocket and not even know it's there. It's a top fill. You unscrew the lid and, you know. The only back draw to this, the seal ring is actually in the top, and the other seal ring is right there. If you guys can read in my low resolution camera that says "Keep Calm, Vape On."
There's actually another one of those in here.
And then you just screw it back on once you've got some fluid in there. It's pretty typical coil setup. It feeds at the bottom and pulls at the top. It's a 0.5 ohm head, so not a lot of resistance in the coil head. It's meant to take fluid and nick salt. It's not designed exclusive for one or the other. That being said, I mean, it has a charger port inside. It's totally all-in-one, and it's a little bit bigger than the size of a cigarette. So if you really wanted to hold it, let me see, like that. If you really wanted to hold it like a cigarette, you know, you could. If you were using it as a smoking alternative. It's got a really smooth finish. It feels good in the hand. It's got a pretty user-friendly feel to it. It's push-button activated. There is no adjustment anywhere on it. You cannot adjust the air holes. You cannot adjust the power. It is a true all-in-one. Unfortunately, this is not one size fits all because I personally was not very happy with it. It just does not put out enough. I have 18 milligrams of nicotine in here, and it still does not put out enough for me. And you guys have seen the type of mods I use. I typically use 3. But with 18 milligrams of nicotine in here, this thing does not give enough for me. Now, just going from what I know about vaping and different mods, this would make an excellent first mod. Just because of how simple it is, how easy it is to use. You unscrew the top. This thing is set up. Crap. This thing is set up like the smock tanks. You take the top off, you remove the glass, then you can unscrew the coil head and replace it, and then put everything back together. And then, of course, you have to fill it back up before you put everything back together. Allow 4, 5, maybe 6 minutes for fluid to soak in. You can even put a couple of drops down in the air hole to make sure the coil is totally soaked before you use it the first time. I haven't had too much problem with backsplash. I haven't had too much problem with pulling fluid. I have had it happen once or twice, but I think that's going to happen at least once or twice with every mod you use. Just because of the nature of the beast, you know. Just like smokers, every now and then you're going to get a piece of tobacco in your mouth, and that's the nature of the beast. From shelf price to walking out the store, I think I gave $34 for this thing. It's $29.99 on shelves. I have no idea what it sells for online. It's, like I say, it's very user-friendly, very simple, very to the point. It takes your standard charger. Battery's built in. There is no external battery. The thing I find unique about this, however, the coil itself is uniquely made specifically for this mod. This is the only mod that carries this particular coil. And a bunch of you are probably thinking in the back of your mind, yeah, we've heard it all before. You know, every specific tank, every specific mod has its own coil. Not quite like this. The only one that was truly, and I mean truly different, besides the CLOCC coil that you find in the Kangertech, Kangertech Cup-D, and the disc-shaped coil that comes in the, I believe it's the Aspire Cleto, that uses that particular coil. Anyways, I'm chasing rabbits, getting off subject here. If you notice, most mods, you have your glass, and somewhere in the bottom here you would have air holes. And most of you are probably looking at this point like, you know what, you're right. But I don't see any air holes. Because the air holes are up here. Let me find one for you right quick. There are 2 of them. There's one. Then you roll it over, and on the other side, there's the other one. Now if you look in the bottom of the cap, I can just hold it. Now, on camera, it probably looks like that's some kind of a seal ring. The seal ring is right here in the very edge. If you run your finger around, you can feel the different texture between the metal here, or the painted metal here, and the rubber right there. That indentation, that recession, that slightly different color pattern there, that is the air. And you notice the silver part here, and there's silver right there in the mouthpiece. The mouthpiece is actually set different, or the draw hole is set different than the rest of it. We look on top of the coil here. You can see these little black bars here on the edges. They create the optical illusion, making it look like it's a square. It's not square. The whole thing is circular, cylindrical shaped. What that does is, through the air holes in the side of the cap, it draws through those little holes. Those are actually holes right there in the side of the coil. The air goes down the side of the coil, down here at the bottom, close to where you can see the intake. Maybe you can see it. This fluid's been in here for a little while. Right there by my finger, you can just see that air bubble in the intake. There's also an intake on the other side, right there. And as the air comes in through the side of the cap here, it goes down to the bottom of the coil, hits the intake, and then comes straight up the center to your draw hole. Which totally eliminates, or well, I wouldn't say totally eliminates, but it eliminates a lot of leakage and a lot of mess cleanup. And it enables a total separation of fluid and battery. Most mods, you have to clean off your port or your contact at some point because the air hole is right there next to the contact, and that allows for some amount of leakage. With the air hole being set up here, it's next to impossible for this thing to leak unless you have a faulty seal, which, like I said, in order to change out the coil, you have to remove the glass and expose that seal. Every time you remove it and expose every time that you expose the seal, you, I wouldn't say you loosen it, but there's certainly wear and tear going on there, and the seal will not work as properly as the first time you put it on there. That's wear and tear. Once again, the nature of the beast. That happens. This is not just vaping. This is anything and anything you use at all. From your cell phone to your car, video games. The very first time you use it is the best it's going to perform. After that, wear and tear starts happening. But as I said, that statement alone renders this particular little mod, while it is a great starter, it is very user-friendly, it's very easy to use, it also makes this thing quite aggravating, because that is the only coil it can take. That is the only coil. And that coil is exclusive to Joytech. I don't know if online or overseas they make a clone to this coil, but that also means that with this being the only coil it can take, yeah, you might be spending a very user-friendly, very cheap $29.99 off the shelf, or $27.99, where, you know, I've seen it. Right after I bought it for $29.99, I come back home to a local vape shop, I see it for $27.99. I'm like, so I spent the extra in gas to go there. Well, I really didn't, because I was already there. I was working in Dothan at the time. But then I find out that here well, not back home, but the next city over, they have it for cheaper. I felt a little bit burned. But anyways, guys, there is my review of the Joytech Ego AIO Eco. Hit that comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know, is there something critical here that I missed? Is there something... oh, by the way, before I forget to mention it, one of my favorite features about this thing, if you do decide, it is, number one, my two favorite features. Number one, it is compatible with Nic Salt. So, if you do decide that you want something a little bit more vape-wise than feeling like a pod mod, because I know some pod mods feel kind of weird. But if you want a smaller vape and you want to use Nic Salt, this thing is Nic Salt compatible. It is also vape fluid compatible. It can use either or. My second favorite thing about this thing is once you plug it up, well, for one, it's really, really cool. Yeah, you can see it. You can actually see it when you go to vape and use it. The tank actually lights up. How cool is that? But the other thing that I absolutely love about this thing, and right after vaping, the light remains like a soft strobe there for a couple seconds. So if you lose it, or if you drop it right after you, like if you're in bed or whatever and you drop it, no problems. It still has that little soft glow going on. You're going to see right where it's at. Anyways, my other favorite thing about this is when you put it on charge, 2 hours. That's all it takes, 2 hours. Maybe 3, depending on how much current your cord is pulling. But I have never had this thing on charge for more than 2 hours, and it's full. It's great. It's wonderful. So once again, very user-friendly, a very great starter mod. It could be a great backup mod. It would be a great backup mod if I felt like it could put out enough for my needs. Alright, so that wraps up that particular review, and I apologize for my nose itching right here at the end of the video.
You're always scratching your nose.
But,
hey guys!
But that's the, totally torrid, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Joytech, is it Ego or Eco?
Ego!
Ego. The Joytech Ego AIO Eco. Say that 5 times fast. Anyways, let me know in the comments, did I miss something? What do you think about it if you own one? Do you know any mods that are similar to that? Well, I mean, it is kind of an EVOD pen style mod. They're a dime a dozen. Yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you see a mod you think I like, but I haven't come across it yet, hit that comment section. I read all my comments, and most time I respond. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn your notification bell on. I cannot guarantee when my next video will be because my recording schedule is very sporadic. If you like what I do, hit that thumbs up. Let me know I'm doing something right. Like I say, if you have a thought, you have a comment, a brain fart even, hit that comment section. I love reading my comments. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen,
Trisha.
be right here, same channel, maybe the same time.